I was speaking about this morning was talent management and how can staffing firms get past their traditional role of talent supply. How can they get past their traditional role of being the source of flexibility for companies which are otherwise base their employment relationships on full-time on-site, long-term, uninterrupted, exclusive employment relationships. Well, I started out with kind of the big picture that what's going on out there is a highly uncertain environment in the business world, a very high pressure workplace everywhere, a very high maintenance workforce. What does that mean for staffing firms? And in particular, as the labor market changes, as flexible employment becomes more the norm, how can staffing firms position themselves as high-level staffing strategy consultants and reaching inside organizations to really do the work of talent management? So I broke that down into staffing strategy. When it comes to staffing strategy, what organizations are trying to do is move resources out of cooling off market segments, move resources into heating up market segments, implement new technologies, streamline operations, make and unmake new business combinations, hire people quickly, fire people quickly. So how can staffing firms become partners with their clients in making all those things happen, planning for those things and executing those things? The next thing that I focused on was attraction and selection. In today's labor market, most organizations have a line outside the door, so the real trick is selection. And there are a whole bunch of best practices when it comes to selection. The big takeaway I suggested is a low-tech shortcut when it comes to selection, which is instead of selling people, selling, once you've sold them up to the door, try to scare them away. Tell them all the downsides of the job and see who's left. The people who are left after you've told them all the downsides of the job, they're the ones who are worth testing, they're the ones who are worth interviewing. And then I moved on to rewards and incentives. The three big takeaways there are control, timing, and customization. Control means the more you can put people in control of their rewards, so you can show them what concrete actions they can take that will cause them to earn more or cause them to earn less. Timing is the closer in proximity to the performance in question you can cash people out, the better. Customization is how can you move past money and use the non-financial rewards that people really care about, control over their own schedule, relationships, task choice, learning opportunities, location, and control of space. How can you use those best practices in rewards to maintain more operational control over your people when they're inside of your clients and customers? And then I moved on to retention. What are the best practices for retention? Step one, get rid of the low performers. Step two, retain people one person at a time, one day at a time, by engaging in an ongoing dialogue with people about what it is they want, what it is they need, and making unique value propositions for them. And then maintaining relationships with people when they leave on good terms, staying connected with them, staying engaged with them, and maybe even welcoming them back. And then I moved on to how to prepare your talent to be able to go into organizations and function like a high-performing consultant. Go into an organization, figure out who you're answering to, how to get clear expectations, how you're going to be measured, and then how can staffing professionals maintain operational control over their people when they're inside of organizations by monitoring, measuring, and documenting, by maintaining an ongoing dialogue with their people, and finally, how can they affect knowledge capture so that when their talented people learn industry-specific knowledge, organization-specific knowledge, manager-specific knowledge, what are the knowledge capture techniques being used so that they can build a tangible asset that the organization owns. So all that information isn't trapped inside somebody's brain, but is in a tangible asset that the organization owns, so that they can use it to get new people up to speed quickly and send them in job ready. That's it in a nutshell.